What's up, everyone? What's up, Tim?
Oh, howdy. I'm excited for this and nervous at the same time.
I am very excited. What did I just watch? As you could see from the thumbnail up there. Actually, to anyone who's already in here, it looks like we got 17 people here. I did want to tell you a funny story. So before we started this, probably like 4 or 5 days ago, I was trying to figure out titles for this, what to call it, different things like that. And so I was like, Tim, any ideas, kind of? And so I was like, how about what did I watch and 10 recommendations or whatever. I put together a thumbnail. I put together 4 thumbnails. And I sent them over to Tim, and he didn't give me a response. He just basically what Tim said was, hold my beer while I put together a real thumbnail for you. And so this thumbnail right here is courtesy of Tim because I shot him over a couple thumbnails, rough drafts, and he didn't even need to respond before he made one himself. It was basically one of those things like, yeah, hold my beer really quick while I actually make a real thumbnail. So I just wanted to poke fun at myself for that because that is like the one thing I hate doing. I love creating content, but I hate creating thumbnails because I'm not an artist. So
yeah, I'm not either. Yeah.
But it was way better than mine. It was way better than mine. I mean, I guess I gave you the structure of how I wanted it, though, maybe, right? Based on the thumbnail I sent, you just put it together better than I could. So, but I'm super excited about tonight. I really am. Basically, the way it's going to work, we've decided, Tim and I'm going to go through. There's 10 recommendations Tim recommended. I'm going to start with number 10 and just go down the list. I have some talking points of what I want to talk about with each one. And then at the very end, Tim will give what he thought my rankings would be. So he's going to give his predictions at the end because we want to keep you in suspense. And then he's going to give his ranking of what his list would look like. And I'll give my prediction Tim's would look like. So I'm very excited. We'll see how our rankings compare to each other's. And then at the very end, I'll go over, because Tim was curious which ones I would buy if I didn't already own them. And then I'll also let everyone know if I recommend his list and if I would ever let Tim recommend another movie to me after this list. So, you excited, buddy?
I am. I want to tell everyone, though, a lot of these were recommended so long ago before I got to know Bob better and know his tastes better. So some of these I would not have recommended if I made the list today, but regardless, I recommended these for reasons. I enjoy all of them in varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I do have a lot of people, like I know Fish, Adam, and others have recommended lists to me, Mizzy as well. And I'll get to them. I'll definitely get to those as well. And then I plan on doing a live stream with them individually at some point. So, and like I said, Tim, if I ever let you recommend another movie, maybe we could get you back on here. So if I like the list enough to even try again. So we'll find out.
I'm slightly worried here.
Slightly worried. I will give a rating because I do on Letterboxd. So some people might already know my rating when I talk about the movie. The nice thing is Tim doesn't follow my Letterboxd. He doesn't have a Letterboxd, I don't think. Fish doesn't. Adam doesn't. So when I do their list, I don't have to worry about them seeing my ratings. Some people, I'd have to keep it a secret, though, because Tim has no idea what my thoughts are on these. So
no, I have none. Yeah, we're going to be going 10-1, and I honestly feel one of my favorites might be at the bottom of his list. So,
what's up, Johnny? What's up, cool kids? Hello there, cool kids, Bob and Tim. What's up, Adrian? What's up, everyone? Something new from Bobby Blue. Smash that like button and kick back and watch the show. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it. I love Cody. Del, what's going on, man? Del, we were just talking about your movie swap and talking about that and how you structure that, like you kind of keep it a surprise. You don't put the titles on the thumbnails. So that's why we don't want to spoil it. Wilkie says, hey, all. Johnny says, John, what's up, everyone? Dell, we've got Johnny. We got John Doe Juggalo in the house. Mika shared today's post. I appreciate it, Mika. We've got Magic Kansas here. John Doe Juggalo, Fish the Film Collector. Movie Warehouse. What's up? I saw you last night here. Appreciate it. We got Tim in the chat. What's Johnny watching? Says hi to Fish. Let's go ahead and keep this moving. We got Roger, 4K King, and he has got Jeopardy coming up very soon. Very soon. I believe could be this weekend, I believe.
I had a lot of fun on Jeopardy. He did a good show with that.
He's got a new DVD artwork as well. I just saw it today. What's up, Sylventus? Also, huge reminder, at 8:45 Central, 9:45 Eastern, Jake and Mel will be going live. So right after this, go ahead and jump in over on Jake's Steelbooks Obsessed channel. He and Mel will be talking Blood Diner in Jake's new Vestron series, or new boutique label series, Boutique Talk, which was a lot of fun, by the way. That was awesome last week hanging out with him. Jake's a good guy. So what's up, Sean? We got Sean here. We got Laren here. Movies and More is here. Sean says hi again, Caveman. We got Laren saying Mika in the house. I adore Mika, by the way. We've got how's it going, everyone? We've got Steve Moody here. Appreciate you. We got Mika saying hey to Laren. Lots of highs back and forth. How are you, Johnny? I have Letterboxd, but I'm so bad with updating that. I'm still in 2022. Yes. I think I'm terrible. I like stalk people on Letterboxd, and I never forget to log a movie, and Ask Mizzy, it will drive me crazy. I think I forgot to log one movie once and it bothered me. So we got Jared Runner here. But yeah, I started logging on January 1st, 2020. So like I don't ever forget to log a movie. So when I go in there, I'll know if it's logged that I've watched it in the last 4 years.
Yeah, no, so I technically have one, but I don't I don't use it. So
okay, yeah, a lot of people do. Ring has Jeopardy Movie Warehouse. Roger 4K King, he is in the chat. Maybe he'll let you know in here, but yep, right here. Letterboxd is an addiction. This is the one that does Jeopardy on his channel, so go check that out. All right, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, so I was gonna do clips. I couldn't get the time, and I also that's Tim's baby, so I don't want to mess with that. So let's go ahead and dive into number 10. All right. I do own this one. I owned it before you recommended it. It is a Criterion title, and it is The Player at number 10. So let's go ahead and talk about The Player. This is the one that I watched probably months ago, so I can't remember it all that well, and I was overall pretty bored with it. My score on Letterboxd is a 2 stars. I feel like everybody on my Letterboxd, all my friends and everything, 4, 4.5, 3.5, 4 stars.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy this. I was very bored with The Player. And what did you enjoy about The Player? I'm curious.
So Hollywood is very sleazy, scummy, and that shows through so much in that movie. I mean, the entire movie's basic premise, which you did not a spoiler, it's in the trailers, but like it's a movie executive getting away with murder, trying to get away with murder because he's a rich, connected man. And it's a very sleazy movie, but it's well acted. And I find it to be a lot of fun, but Altman's comedy style also might not shine through.
Yeah, I didn't laugh, but I did want to say, because I know Tim and I talked about this backstage, I apologize. We are going to do this spoiler free tonight. And when we dive into spoilers, if we do at all, we will give a warning. We will not go into spoilers before we give a warning. So if you haven't seen any of these movies, don't worry, we won't spoil it. And if we do, we'll give a warning for you to mute us for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever we're going to talk about. Nice cat in the background, by the way. It didn't work for me, and I wanted to like it. It was probably one of the very first ones I watched on your list. I really like Tim Robbins, so I'm a big Tim Robbins fan, but the comedy didn't work for me. The humor didn't work for me. I was just rather bored with it. And when I went to Letterboxd, I always look sometimes at my friends list. I'm like, oh, I'm in the huge minority in the fact that I didn't like this one. So maybe I missed something. And maybe down the road I would give it another chance, but this one did not work for me.
It's got a quirky sensibility about it. Like I said, that comedy style, it either works or it doesn't. Like I laughed. It's very quirky and it's very sleazy. Like I said, he's a sleazeball, scummy character, and you're not rooting for him, but he's the lead character, and it's good though. It's fun.
Yeah. Let's catch up on the chat. And once again, these streams that I do this series probably won't go a super long time. I'm only going to do it pre-recorded. And then I was like, no, why don't I do it live so Tim can live react to my thoughts? Because I was talking to Fish about it. I always had these plans to watch these and then do a series on my channel pre-recorded. But I was like, I'm going to do it live. Why not? And I appreciate everyone who's here. Letterboxd is an addiction, 4K King says. I couldn't agree more, Roger. Letterboxd can be fun, can be dangerous. I do Jeopardy. Yep, absolutely. What is up, Bob and Tim and everybody? We got James in the house. What's up, 20th and 21st movies? How you doing, James? Laren says, Adrian, I also log everything I watch in Letterboxd. I'm definitely obsessed. Yep, I do not forget. And if I watch it at like midnight, I'll put that to 8. I'm OCD like that. 2 stars, oof. Yeah, but hey, 2 stars and that's number 10. So that's kind of a good sign, right? That if that's my number 10 at 2 stars.
Yeah, I guess it's not, at least it's not a 0. I mean, you're only a 0.5 away from being midway. So
yeah. So 2 is like below average for me. So I didn't hate this even. I didn't even hate it. Okay. So not one of these movies I hated on your list. That's a positive. 2.5 would be average. 3 would be above average for me. Above average to like decent. Hey, Holland, I need to revisit The Player. Haven't seen it in a while. I figured James would definitely be one who's seen it. Criterion and all. Never heard of The Player. Yep. Tim Robbins, I believe 90s, right, Tim?
Yeah, somewhere early 90s.
I meant to tell everyone, maybe Tim and I can do that. I do apologize. I meant to write down where you can find these. But I know The Player is a Criterion title. I don't know if it's streaming.
Yeah, I don't know either. But anyways, next Criterion sale, it's easily available. It's a cool title.
You should have an image for us to know when to unmute during spoilers. Yeah, that is true. That's absolutely true. Yeah,
we're gonna try to really not touch on spoilers unless there's
only probably 2 titles I want to get into spoilers with. So those 2 we'll have to do for sure.
We'll give a hand signal to start and end it then or something.
That is a good John Doe creates a great point though.
Yeah.
I like constructive criticism and feedback from the chat, especially when it's stuff like that, because that's a great point. Hey, KB, great stream earlier. So good to see you back. Absolutely. I saw that. I saw you were in the chat as well earlier with that. David says, where does The Player rank for each of you among the movies that are about Hollywood?
That's a tough one because I feel like Player is kind of one of the few in that area that's not about the movie star or the director. It's about the no-name executive that you don't see or hear from. Like most of them are about actors and directors. So
yeah, Mid-Level Media says, how many of these did Bob give 1 star and a heart to? So on my Letterboxd, I don't give hearts. I don't do the favorites. But that's more of a Tony's thing. 1 star and a heart. I wasn't a fan of The Player. Hey, Joe, that's where we give him a hard time. Based on the difference between you two, I'm guessing number 1 will only get 2.5 stars left. We'll see. You want to dive into number 9?
Yeah.
I don't have a ton to say about The Player.
And like mentioned at the beginning, I wrote down everything on where I think these are gonna fall, and for him, and I wasn't too far off, at least on Player. So there's that.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll do the predictions for sure at the end. All right, my number 9 is something that I feel like, this would be accurate. So number 9 and 8, right neck and neck. Like they were both 2.5 stars. Spoiler alert. They were the definition of average to me. We'll get into number 9.
Oh God! Oh man! Oh.
So money pits. I like Shelley Long a lot, and I like I love Tom Hanks. One of my favorites. Shout out to Roger. That is his favorite actor of all time. Tom Hanks, top 3 for me. Him, Kevin Costner, De Niro, probably, right? Pacino's up there. I love Tom Hanks and I love Shelley Long. The humor is a little too over the top and silly for me at times. I did enjoy parts of it. My goodness, how went with the house though? Oh my goodness. A lot.
I love this movie also. And Money Pit is kind of like a newer version of this. I love it's just everything that can go wrong goes wrong, but it's done in like a wholesome comedy way. Like I don't know how else to say. Definitely not a dick joke type movie or anything like that. It's a wholesome, fun, but yes, it can be over the top. The bathtub going through the floor, and
there were moments for sure that I laughed, and I laughed out loud. And I like Shelley Long a lot. And minor spoiler alert. This will only be like 10 seconds long, but I didn't assume she cheated at the end. I really didn't. That whole thing, I was like, no, it couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I was right. But so you're a big fan of this one then?
Yeah, man. You'll see my ranking of my personal list, but yes, I love that one, man. That is one of my all-time favorite Tom Hanks.
Oh, wow.
I love that one. It's the whole movie just cracks me up so much. It's start to finish hysterical. It's Tom
Very
Hanks can be funny in general, but his physical comedy in that movie, without saying a single word, the expressions on his face when things just aren't going well. Oh my god, it's so funny.
And like I said, Shelley Long's great in it too. Sometimes I like a 2, but a 1. Hello again, Ken. I love the Money Pit. Martinez says he didn't like the player, but he loved the Money Pit. Mika loves the Money Pit. Tim just had an aneurysm. David says, "What's up, 4K Lowdown?" We got Mika says, "So funny." The Money Pit. I was also not a big on. I think I gave it 2.5 and 5 hearts. I gave it 2.5 stars. Yes, I did. Tim's reactions are the best. They really are, Dell. I couldn't agree more. Just watch Money Pit. It's better than a 2.5, Bob. I love Money Pit, 4K King says. And you know that, like, that over the top at times, that's like people that get to know me, that's not necessarily my favorite type of humor. That when it's too over the top and silly, but there are for sure over the top and silly movies I like. I guess just depends on the time I see it. I didn't watch this once again until like probably a month ago. Movie Warehouse says I watched Money Pit and when I was a kid and I loved that movie. See, maybe when I was a kid. Laren says, "Oh damn, the Money Pit is so good. Haven't seen the Money Pit since before Bob was born." Dell says, "Bob is not wholesome." Ken says, "Blasphemy, Bob. Can't be number 9." KB says, "Tim is going to die a few times tonight." Is Dunkirk on that list? No, because I already seen that one. Movie Warehouse says, "Tom Hanks laughing when the bathtub falls through the floor was good." And says, "Ain't no way Dunkirk is on the list, KB." Movie Warehouse, that might be pushing it. Tom Hanks has done some great movies. Money Pit, Ryan says, is better than Big. Fight me. I like Big more. David says, "I love 80s Tom Hanks comedies. I enjoy the Money Pit. Turner and Hooch, The Burbs, so many great 80s movies."
So Tom Hanks. I'm going to say it, David. A lot of people might not agree with me, but if I had to take Tom Hanks went through that transition of comedies to dramas, I much prefer his 80s into 90s comedies over his later 90s into 2000s dramas. Like if I had to pick an era of Tom Hanks, I'm taking his comedy era.
How about when he comes home to the one guy, that the construction worker, and he like gives him a bill and he's like, "When can you come back out?" And he's like, "It could be," like he gives it's like
it's a random time. And when they all come, like, it's like monster trucks and all these different types of vehicles, just a hodgepodge of weird circus type people.
It is funny. I had my moments with it. Like I said, 2.5. Overall, I just wasn't super into it. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. Johnny says, "For anyone who has had to fix up their house, the Money Pit just hits different." Holland says, "All right, Mr. Ryan with an O, you're finished." Caveman says, "The carpet scene in the Money Pit was hilarious." Laugh out loud. "I love the man with one red shoe so much," Steve says. I've never seen that one. Like Tom Hanks in The Terminal. Tim, yes, on the Tom Hanks Burbs.
Burbs is great.
Mel's favorite movie of all time. All right, you want to dive into number 8?
Yeah, go for
number
it.
8's gonna hurt you. Number 8's not. It's gonna hurt you. Number 8's not gonna make you happy with me. I just watched this one, and I got a fun conversation I had with my dad after I watched it because it's from the 50s, I believe, or 60s.
Oh no,
60s. Let's get into it. Number 8.
Wait, no, not this one. Oh, come on. I thought you were going to go with the other one, not that one.
Yeah, Wait Until Dark.
What's funny is, even knowing you better now, I still would have recommended that one. Oh my God.
So Wait Until Dark was really slow. It moved at a snail's pace, and that's tough for me. I was invested in it in the beginning. I do love Audrey Hepburn. She's great. She's beautiful. And that looked nothing like Alan Arkin. by the
No,
way.
and he's
Holy cow, to now, like,
despicable too, which is so un-Alan Arkin like.
yeah.
It's so, oh my god, oh man, go ahead, speak your piece first. Oh man, I have to.
So I wrote that. So I gave it 2.5. So average. I wanted to go with 3, but I went with 2.5 on it. There's a couple things. So something like this, I feel like sometimes I learn to appreciate a movie more so after talking to people or reading other reviews from my friends. And so I came to appreciate the movie a little bit more when I started to have conversations with other people briefly about it and look at some other letterbox ratings. I love the ending, of course. And then it was really fun because I drove my dad to the airport like 2 weeks ago or last week, and then I picked him up. And I was picking him up the morning after I watched this. And so I was like, Dad, you ever seen Wait Until Dark? And he's like, yeah, the one with the Audrey Hepburn, she's blind, right? He's like, yeah, she's blind. He's like, you remember? And he's like, never mind, you watched it last night. Of course you remember. He's like, but yeah. So we were having a conversation about it. I was like, Alan Arkin, he's like, yeah, wow, he was so young in that. I was like, I know, rest in peace. And it was fun to talk to my dad about it, though. I love talking to my dad, like asking him if he's seen these older movies, because it's just fun to talk to him about. Like some of them he's seen in theaters, you know what I mean? If it's maybe like 70s, like I remember talking to him about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which you're not a fan of, but he saw that in theaters. And it was just cool being like 16, talking to him like, hey, what was that like? So it's fun to talk to him about movies that are 50 years old. So, but what I wrote down, okay, rather little bit boring for me until it picks up. But it had its moments. I was engaged. I thought it was really good dialogue. But too long. I thought it could have used a little bit of editing personally. And great ending, though. That's what I wrote. So those were some kind of things, bullet points. Go ahead.
So for me, Wait Until Dark is a very different Audrey movie, and so during that time she was divorcing her husband, who was also the producer for the movie. Not that I shouldn't say they weren't a divorce yet, but I guess this was the hoping they reconcile by working together type of thing. Their marriage is very strained, and she was not in the right emotional place making the movie. She was not happy making the movie, but her kind of turmoil, if I could speak right, shows through in the character. I thought, I thought her acting was tremendous, and even the amount of times where I've seen actors with sight play blind, a lot of them will have to have glasses on because it's hard to act and not make eye connection when you have sight. You can see the actors, and you have to train yourself to not be able to look at them. And I thought Audrey did great, because I've seen many things where people, they'll end up looking at the actor even though they're supposed to be blind. You know what I mean?
She's always been a great actress. I mean, and it's been fun. There's, I guess, spoiler alert, there is another Audrey Hepburn movie on this list, and I think that's what Tim thought was going to be my number 8.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that.
I love this movie this much, and I got Cookie Monster on again. But there's a guy called Readful Things that makes one-off action figures, kind of like reaction figures, but just one-offs. They're more so an art piece than a toy. I spent a lot of money on this because I freaking adore the movie. Like he does all of the artwork for all of this. This is more of like an art piece than anything.
Did you just buy that recently?
Earlier this year.
Yeah, I think, because I don't remember. Like I remember seeing you do a video for that and had that or something like that.
It's a one of one. Like no one else in the world has this. Like I love this movie. When I saw this go up, I'm like, I have to own it. I have to. I freaking adore this movie. And
this is one you can find through Warner Archive Collection, probably $17.99 on Amazon. So I don't own it, but it is on there as well. And it might be on Paramount Plus, because a lot of Audrey Hepburn movies are on Paramount Plus. So,
but yeah. I thought Alan Arkin is so villainous in that movie. Like I said, Audrey was great. I love set in single location movies. I love set in one location, which there's another movie on this list that's set in one location. But this I thought was freaking great. And the poster, I have the original one sheet poster too. and they actually warned people at the time that it was going to be scary because they actually shut all lights off and the screen goes completely black. Like you're blind with her for a short section of the movie, which again I thought was really cool.
Yes, towards the ending. Yep, that was absolutely very suspenseful too. But I'm gonna catch up with the chat here as well. They're funny. They're very funny. What number 8? Helen says, "Preach, Ken." Ooh, damn, Wait Until Dark is awesome. Yeah, Tim is dead. I'm right there with him. So I gave it 2.5. Not Wait Until Dark. I didn't hate it. Tim throwing a hissy fit over Hepburn films. Wait Until Dark is great. Not feeling number 8. Same Mika. Hey Bob, Tim, and chat. We got Miz here. Hey Mizzy, what's up, Miz? Mizzy, I was wondering where you were. In another stream he was. Hey Mizzy, yep, Holland. Wait Until Dark is great, tremendously suspenseful with an amazing performance by Audrey Hepburn. Couldn't agree more though, as far as her performance goes. I love how chill Bob is about not liking Wait Until Dark and how passionately mortified Tim is that Bob didn't like it. So I didn't dislike Wait Until Dark though, because I gave it 2.5. So like that, and I was a high 2.5. I wanted to give it 3. So I didn't dislike it. Just because something's number 8 doesn't mean I didn't like it. So here's a spoiler alert for you. Since you thought I was going to hate your list, you're going to like to hear this. Number 7 and above all got 3 stars or higher. So there's that. So you thought I would hate your list, and you're thinking that other Audrey Hepburn movie. Now you're really surprised that I didn't hate that, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, we'll get into that. The Movie Warehouse says The Circle with Tom Hanks is one of my favorite more recent movies. Helen says, "Hey Huck." Dell says, "Huck Mizzy Fish." Cody adding Wait Until Dark to my list. Yep, I just got here, but I assume Tim's right. Derek says he always is. Tim's right. Tim and his Cookie Monster PJs makes another appearance. Hey Cody, and just a heads up to everyone. Like that's the one thing Tim and I, we go way back, like 40 years. So him and I respect each other enough that he's like, I told him, feel free to give me crap in here because him and I respect each other though. Like we know that no matter even if I hated any of these, which I didn't even hate any, I disliked one of them in particular, the player so far. I didn't hate Wait Until Dark or Money Pit. So blanket hello to all. Hey Derek. Sup Derek? What's up, Miz? Hey Mizzy. We've got you should have given it 2.5 and a heart then. Bob just gave it a shitty grade. Doesn't mean I don't like it. Yeah. 2.5 is not and I think it's well made. It's just bit slow on the slower end for me. But you want to dive into number 7?
All right, let's go for it.
You think you were worried about me? I'm gonna be the one who gets all the hate here tonight. So let's go ahead and dive into number 7. It is going to be Rollerball, the original Rollerball.
That shocks me, actually. I think I would still recommend that one to you, actually. Wow.
And I gave it 3 stars. Yeah. Not a heart, Ken, not a heart, just 3 stars. I liked Rollerball. I thought it was pretty good. So the action sequences, the games, if you want to call it that, a lot of fun. There's definitely some social commentary in the movie and everything like that. Especially the last game in particular. Had a blast with it. I was kind of on the edge of my seat. It's actually a lot more violent than I expected.
It really is.
Especially the last game is really violent, like extremely violent. I watched a 4K from Scream Factory that they put out. I literally bought it just for this. I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought it was pretty good. Gave it 3 stars, above average, pretty good for me. Basically, whenever they had the games going on, great. Everything in between, bit boring.
You weren't into like the dystopian set piece of why they have the games and all of that?
Not really. I really wasn't into anything outside of the games with it. It was okay. It was just, it tended to drag for me when there wasn't the games going on. But I had a blast with the games, and I thought James Caan was great. And I loved the last game, though. That was super violent and just intriguing and everything.
Yeah, so I loved the games also, but I think what clicked with me is actually the stuff in between also that ties together the games, because I thought that dystopian setting was really cool. Like, he is the star player, everyone loves him, and when he starts learning more of like what's actually going on here, it takes some twists. I loved it. Like the games are great, but that connective tissue to tie the games together is actually what made me love it even more.
I'm sorry. This comment right here. I'm gonna kill Holland Oates. Bob preferred gutter balls. Shut up, Holland. I gave gutter balls like 1 star. I hated gutter balls. I could watch it though. Everyone has a different criteria for how they score. 2.5 is pretty crappy for me, he says. Hey, Mika Del, John Doe, Johnny Holland. At least it wasn't the remake Rollerball. No, he would not recommend the remake. And I had already seen the remake of Rollerball. I can't believe I haven't seen the OG Rollerball. Saw the shitty remake though. Hey everyone, I just got home from work. Rollerball is Bobby's kind of movie. Original Rollerball is solid, 1,000 times better than the remake. I do like it better than the remake, that's for sure. Yeah, if it gets below 3, I probably wouldn't revisit it, but I prefer gutter balls. Laugh out loud, Holland. I need to see the original. Hello, Tiana, my dear. Hey, Fish, Tiana. What's up, Tiana? James Caan always has a great performance. To check out the movie Thief. Caan is incredible in it. So, funny story about Thief. Tim, originally, so before I decided to make this into 10 movies and go live with it, Tim sent me 12 movies to watch on Letterboxd, 3 rows of 4. Thief and Smooth Talk were 2 of the movies I already watched, and I was like, hey Tim, I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to do a live stream out of this one day and blah blah blah. And I was like, are you cool with these 10? And he was like, yeah. So Thief and Smooth Talk would have been on this list, and I liked Thief a pretty good amount, and I thought Smooth Talk was really good too, but they didn't make the list because I had already watched them. But they were recommended to me by Tim. So Tim, I did like those 2 as well. So you thought I was going to hate everything. You did pretty good here. So I dig James Caan and pretty much anything he's in.
Yes.
All right. So anything else you want to say about Rollerball?
No, it's just really funny that we both like the games, but you didn't like the in between, and I really liked the in between.
Yeah. Number 6 might upset you. You're probably thinking, when is he going to get to this other Audrey Hepburn movie? But I'm sure I'm making you happy the longer I wait to pull that one, huh?
It's shocking me, actually.
It's very shocking. I'm sure it is, because you were like, you're gonna hate this movie, you're gonna rip it. All right, here we go. Number 6.
Wow. Okay. I thought I guess it's not really that far off where I thought.
So I gave this 3 stars as well. High 3 stars. I was on the border of 3.5 and 3. I think I did change it from 3.5 to 3 when I watched it. I like Simple Plan. I think it's a bit long at times. I think it drags a tiny bit at times as well. Love Bridget Fonda. I think Billy Bob Thornton's great in it. Bill Paxton's a big wimp in this one. He is a big wimp. I remember talking to my dad about this one as well, and the first thing my dad said was, is that the one where Bill Paxton's a big pussy? And I was like, yeah, he kind of was a little bit in this. Said something like that. But yeah, he was a big wimp. He was a little bit of a baby in this. But I love the concept. I love the beginning when he's this isn't really a spoiler at all. Tiny minor, it's not a spoiler actually, but it's only gonna be like 15 seconds of a spoiler if it is. I love when he's having the conversation with his wife about, hypothetically, what would you do if you found $50 million or whatever it is in the woods? And she's like, I would give it back and all this stuff. I wouldn't take it and all this stuff. And then she like sees it and it's totally different. And then she becomes the one who like wants to take it.
Yeah, she's hardcore.
He wants to burn it and all this stuff, and she wants to get onto it. So I thought Simple Plan was creative, effective, intriguing, aged by it. Like, what can go wrong does go wrong in this movie for them. Nothing really goes right. Billy Bob Thornton's terrible. he's just like, he's a terrible brother, especially throughout most of the movie. But I did really enjoy it. That scene in the house, though, I was like, wow, like this is just everything's going wrong for them.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean, just like with Money Pit, I really like movies that nothing goes right for the characters. And my God, Simple Plan is just literally they make all the wrong choices. Everything that can go wrong goes wrong. I like it a lot. I didn't think about the whole Bill Paxton being a wimp in it, but now I need to rewatch because I didn't get that impression per se, but I just think of it as
He's
three.
definitely not like tough. He comes off a little bit as a baby. I don't know if anyone else agrees. Convicted Cinephile says what were 9 and 10. So 10 was the player and number 9 was the money pit. And then 8 was Wait Until Dark. Hey Derek, I dig James Caan in pretty much anything he's in. Laren, Thief is so good. Love that one. Caan is the man. Caan is great. John Doe Juggalo in caps locks. Hey JD James. Hey Laren, did you get Dave's used skibbies yet? It's hilarious. I was gonna ask if Bob hated everything. No, I did not. I actually didn't hate any of them. I disliked one, and I thought 2 were okay, and the rest I enjoyed. Film Addiction 9 was Money Pit. Derek James Caan is amazing. The show Las Vegas got bad after he left. 10 was The Player. I was right about Money Pit. Tim. Oh, did he tell you I wasn't gonna like it?
Yeah, I asked Derek because he knows your taste pretty well. I'm like, what do you think? How do you think Bob's gonna rank these? And yeah, he said Money Pit isn't what did he say?
Bob's comedy. I was on his comedy.
It wasn't a boner movie, so you weren't gonna like it.
Son of a gun. Not yet, Derek. Damn it, I'm waiting. Simple Plan was solid when I watched it. I still need to see a Simple Plan. So it's Bill Paxton from True Lies. Laughing my ass off. Simple Plan rules. The player's good, but it's slow from what I recall. It is slow. Simple Plan is great. Haven't seen Simple Plan. Simple Plan needs a solid release. Tim, you were just telling me it's getting one from Kino?
I'm pretty sure it's Kino, but yes, it is getting one. I'm pretty sure it was Kino.
Johnny, where are you? Dell, I'm here, Tiana. Things that go wrong films I like are Trojan War and Blind Date.
Ooh, I don't know those.
Trojan War is I think Jennifer Love Hewitt's. It's like a sex comedy, teen sex comedy sort of. And Blind Date is Bruce Willis, which it was actually recommended by Fish to me. The Blind Date, that is the definition of what can go wrong will go wrong. Kim Basinger and Bruce Willis.
Oh, I have to check that one out.
He goes on a blind date, and I think you would like Blind Date a lot. Bob likes his comedies like he likes his swimming pools, shallow and full of boners. Simple Plan is a great film. Derek, hi, Tiana. I'll definitely check it out, Johnny and Tiana. Okay, so what? Kino?
Maybe I Kino. Think it's Kino. You know how Kino does that whole like, hey, this is coming at some point, and then you don't hear about it for a long time. But someone showed it, and I'm pretty sure it was Kino.
Yeah. You ready to dive into number 5?
Yeah, I mean, either way, 5's the middle of the list, so it's only up from here.
All right. Oh yes, love Blind Date. I thought Blind Date was pretty decent.
I'm actually shocked. Though. There's one that I'm shocked I didn't see come up. That's not the one that you were thinking.
All right, number 5. Here we go.
Okay, it's middle of the pack. That's higher than I expected.
I liked Breakfast at Tiffany's. Are you shocked?
I actually am. I thought you were gonna hate it.
I thought I was gonna hate that movie, and I sat down and I barely looked at my phone. I had myself a turkey sandwich with provolone cheese and a Mountain Dew, sat back on the recliner, and I enjoyed the hour 50 minutes or whatever it was, hour 40 or something like that. Almost 2 hours. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I didn't know it was going to be romantic. And I'm a sucker for romance in movies. So I totally dug Breakfast at Tiffany's, but Audrey Hepburn is incredibly gorgeous in that movie, for one. But can we get a Best Supporting Actor for Cat?
I love that the cat's name is Cat.
Yes, he was awesome. The cat is freaking awesome. It reminds me of Nala a ton because Nala is also an orange cat. So,
and, not even this isn't a spoiler, but the last like 2 minutes of the movie are so emotional with Cat in it. So, that cat deserves performance.
I liked Breakfast at Tiffany's a ton, and I was a big fan of it. Audrey Hepburn's beautiful. I thought the dialogue was great. So let's see what I wrote down. I have a decent amount of notes for this one. So I wrote down romantic. I wrote sharp dialogue. I thought the dialogue was really good. I did look at, so I always enjoy looking at ratings and other people's reviews after I watch the movie. A lot of people calling it extremely racist.
So they're not wrong. Mickey Rooney's character,
yellow
did not age well at all.
Yeah, because he's essentially playing like Yellowface, right? Essentially.
It's and what makes it that much worse is he's put in there in that role strictly for comedy sense, but his character doesn't actually contribute. And like you could take his character completely out of the movie and it's better for it. Like his character adds nothing.
I know that's like the idea is he's there for comedy for comedic elements, and essentially like, dude, there was some like when I was looking up some Letterboxd ratings, people getting really like mean with each other about the racism, and people are like, racist is racist, like you can't just take that away and say because it's back in the day it was different and stuff like that. But obviously they did do movies back in the day way differently, you know what I mean? And obviously, but yes, as far as things aging go, I get that definitely doesn't age as well. I still enjoyed the movie. I guess I didn't pay attention to the racism in it, or I put it out of my head, I guess you could say. I didn't even know who that guy was playing that character though at first. I had to look it up, and he's just like a super big actor.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney's huge, but
yeah, I was like,
he plays the most stereotypical version of an Asian man you could possibly play. And oh my god, I'm not like obviously I love the movie and I'm not writing it off because of that character, but dude, that character is terrible. Like that is, if I'm marking anything against the movie, it's that. But everything else around that character, I freaking love.
On characters, I will say this: I loved the characters. I'm not saying his character because he didn't really serve a purpose outside of comedic elements, and some people might have found it funny. I loved Audrey Hepburn and the guy in particular. Yes, I was a huge fan from the very beginning. I just thought their chemistry was ridiculous. And I love the scene in Tiffany's when they're like, what can we get for under $10?
Yeah.
That's great. And he's like, I love the back and forth with the teller, the guy at like the cashier. Yeah. And he's just like his banter with them was perfect in that scene. The way I was smiling, dude, I was grinning in that scene in Tiffany's. Like whenever they went out, I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun with it. I was surprised. And I'm sure if I watched this when I was even younger, or you know what I mean? Like put myself in the 50s, I would enjoy it even more. So I had a really good time watching Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I love the shoplifting scene too.
Oh yeah,
it's so absolutely fun.
This when they put the mask on too and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Mizzy was like bugging me the last 2 days. He's like, "What'd you think of Breakfast at Tiffany's?" I was like, "I can't tell you. You gotta wait." So he's like, "You hated it, didn't you?" I was like, "You'll see. You'll see." So, but yeah, I really like the camera work too, to be honest with you. Some of the camera work, like in the beginning and all that stuff, I was just a big fan of it. The champagne scene in the kitchen, so much about Breakfast at Tiffany's I really enjoyed. Good direction as well, I wrote, and it was funnier than I expected. I didn't expect to laugh. I went into Breakfast at Tiffany's expecting something different. I didn't know it was going to be romantic, and I didn't know it was going to be funny. I laughed at Breakfast at Tiffany's. I was very surprised by that. I did not expect to laugh.
Her character is so quirky.
I love her character. Loved her character. I loved her character. Was a big fan of her. So yeah. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and catch up with the chat. But this was one you definitely did not expect. You were thinking we'll get into that, but yeah, lower on the list, I'm sure. Wow, Tiana says, Breakfast at Tiffany's so good. Have a few copies. Which was better, sandwich or movie? The movie. Good movie minus Mickey Rooney and Yellowface. Yep.
Yeah.
Everything is good except for Mickey Rooney's performance. Yep. Hour 40. You must have looked at Breakfast at Tiffany's is like 3 hours. Does Tim doesn't like it? Breakfast at Tiffany's is like 3 hours. Is Tim not a fan of it? Or Derek, I mean.
Oh, I don't know. I love it.
I always forget about Mickey Rooney. Rooney was the biggest box office draw from 1939 to 1940, spanning 2 decades. I never liked Mickey Rooney in anything. I don't see the appeal. Apparently, the ladies did, though. Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland were box office gold back in the day. Every time I hear of Mickey Rooney, I keep picturing Dana Carvey's impression of him on SNL. Convicted Cinephiles. Laugh and give it 3 stars and a turkey sandwich.
Oh my god.
I enjoyed this one. Big fan. I was very happy with it. I was very surprised. I gave it 3.5 stars, and I enjoyed it. So this was not a failure at all. I was pleasantly surprised. Let's just say that, because I did not expect it to be funny, and I was not bored, and that's a surprise. So
That makes me very happy, because I literally thought that was going to be 10.
the scene in the strip club too, or not even strip club or whatever, like the when she unbuttons and she removes her sunglasses and you just see Audrey Hepburn's eyes perk up. I was laughing at that too, and they kept having dialogue back and forth in that scene, and I just enjoyed it. Their chemistry was so good in that, so good.
Yep.
Big fan of that one. So, all right, you got anything to say?
No, I mean, I already said it. I loved everything about it except for Mickey Rooney. So
yeah, Mickey Rooney. All right, you ready to laugh out loud again? I was confusing it with My Fair Lady. That's like 3 hours. Yeah, he didn't recommend that one. All right, you ready for number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Number 4, Vast of the Night.
I'm shocked because I recommended this so long ago, and I don't think of you with sci-fi now, and I actually thought this was going to be lower on your list.
So I'm pretty sure anybody looking to watch this, it's still on Amazon Prime, I believe.
It's a Prime movie, so it'll stay there.
I watched it at like 6 or 6:30 in the morning. I got home from the gym, I think, and I popped this on because I was like, you know what? It's an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. I was like, let me watch it. I fucking loved the camera work.
It's so good, right?
Loved the camera work. And that tracking shot, oh my God. I think I got like a miniature chub watching that scene. Loved that tracking shot. It was like a good 2 minutes or something like that. One take with the drone. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
The score was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was super tense and very eerie. And it doesn't necessarily like pick up. It's pretty slow, but
it's definitely slow the whole
slow,
way.
which is surprising because I'm usually that's why I don't mind slow moving movies. We definitely won't spoil it because this one we could dive into spoilers pretty heavily on. But I enjoyed the heck out of this movie. It definitely didn't go necessarily where I was expecting it to, but like at no point did I lose. It had me gripped from the beginning, and I was just like so invested in it. Like I said, from the tracking shot, it was so eerie. I was like, what is happening? Is nothing really happening? And then where it goes at the end, it's such an ambiguous ending. Like it really leaves us with what happened. So what I guess I do want to dive into minor spoilers for this one. This will be like probably 30 seconds. We'll give a hand wave when we're done spoiling it here really quick. So here we go. What did you think of the ending and what happened to them?
Oh, they're abducted.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I got out of it too, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the camera laying on the ground, or that not the camera, but the audio recording laying on the ground, covered in the dirt. That's saying they're gone. They're out.
Yeah. I'd like we're done talking spoilers. I really liked the characters. I liked her and I liked him a lot. I was just super into the movie. The characters, the voices on the radio, the old school feel to it, everything about it, the score. I thought it was great. I honestly really enjoyed this. I gave it a very high 3.5 stars.
For how low budget they had a vision, and good God, did they execute it perfectly. It's they made it to be like it's a Twilight Zone or an Outer Limits episode, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's done so well. The filter they used over it, like that color grading, just everything about it, it just feels like it belongs in either one of those shows. And the acting, dude, those actors. So one scene that sticks out with me is there's a scene where she is what do you call it? The people that work the telephones, like moving the wires back and forth, all of that. I don't know what they were called. I can't think about that. But the guy works at a radio station, so she runs over to him, and they're going through reel to reels, and the actor in one single shot is setting up probably 8 or so of those reels, like setting it up, playing it for a little bit, taking it
Spinning
off,
it, yeah.
and doing that over and over again in one shot. You know how hard that would be to get and not screw that up? Like, that is done so well. Like, I can't fathom how much practice it took to be able to pull that off in one shot and really well, because they're keeping the dialogue going while he's doing all of this. I'm like, holy shit.
It's very easy to forget about like appreciation in certain things in movies and camera takes and acting and stuff like that, or take it for granted, I guess. Is this the moment we get to yell at Ken and not me for once? Vast of the Night, I did not like. The ending shot was great, though. Do we finally get to yell at Ken?
I'm going to be honest, though. Ken and I, there's some stuff we're similar on, but we also are vastly different on a bunch of stuff.
I see what you did with the vastly different.
Yeah, so I'm not really shocked he didn't like it, but I already love slow, I love sci-fi, and I love Twilight Zone. You throw all that together, it was really damn good.
Yeah, if Huck and Bob liked Vast of the Night, then I really need to check it out. Huck says, yes, Vast of the Night, classic Tim recommendation. Great acting in that movie. So you recommended it to Tim as well, or to Huck as well, huh?
I actually recommended it for our Collectors Club stream we did where we recommended stuff. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was like, this is a Huck movie all the way.
Hey, Huck, Tiana says. Johnny says, just out of Vast of the Night, since it gave Bob a chubby. It gave me a minor chubby, and it's the camera work in the tracking sequence with the drone and how it works. Like, the score is great, too, honestly.
It's such a technical movie. Like, the movie, right off the bat, it even starts off with not that many cuts. Like, it's just, the movie is not trying to tell you, it's very self-contained in one night. They're not giving you a whole bunch of exposition beforehand. It's just them walking into a basketball game ready to set up for the radio broadcast. Like,
and I was totally digging it.
Yeah.
The simplicity of that. I was into that. Like, I like basketball too, so I was just like, and it all takes place in the night, and it's just it's super intriguing. It's a very intriguing movie. Adams here says, hey guys, sorry, so busy at work. We'll catch the replay. Have a good night, everyone. I'm gonna hold you to that, Adam. Tiana says, Adam, have a good night, Adam. Mizzy says, Simple Plan is really good. I figured Mizzy liked that one. Laugh a lot, already ready for episode 2. Film Addiction says, I'm glad.
Thank you, Johnny. Operators, that's the word.
They're called operators, Tim. Might need to rewatch it, though. And we got Fish saying, you need to stop talking with your hands. I almost got spoiled.
Oh, sorry.
So... yeah, that's why I want to avoid that. 2 of my favorite movie collectors and great humans in one spot. You know, I was just talking about you last night, James. I definitely want to get you back on soon. I miss you, James. Miss you for sure, buddy. You ready to get into number 3?
Yeah.
All right. This one we'll let everyone know. Sorry, I'm a moving with my hands kind of guy. I can't sit still. But we will let everyone know when we're going to dive into spoilers, because I want to dive into some heavy spoilers on this one, but I will let everyone know. So number 3 is going to be Open 24 Hours. Right.
I totally felt like this was a you movie. I seriously, I finished watching this. I'm like, this is a Bob movie, man.
So I gave it 3.5, 3.5 stars. Very high 3.5 stars. I wrote, I was totally drawn in from the beginning. Wasn't bored at all. Not boring, suspenseful, fun, and I didn't like all the hallucinations. That is the one thing I was like, oh, it's just taking me out of the movie. But I don't want to get into spoilers yet, so I want to let you give your thoughts on it. But go ahead and give some thoughts really quick on it and what you
so you know, I think most people know I'm not the best fan of straight to video horror type stuff. I'm generally not. I think everyone knows that. We gave this one a shot, and it, like you said, it drew me in like immediately. I was shocked because a movie like this traditionally is not my cup of tea. But yeah, it drew me in, and the score is freaking great. Like great enough that I was tempted to buy the vinyl for the longest time. Like, it actually has a vinyl release for the score. It's that damn good.
Nice.
It kept me intrigued the entire time. Again, I like single location settings, which I've recommended three movies at single location settings.
Wait until dark.
Yeah, I dig that type of thing, and it had me intrigued the entire time. To be a straight to video horror movie and keep me intrigued,
Yeah.
Kudos.
I don't know if many people in the chat have seen this one, but
Oh,
I definitely would recommend this one. I don't think I watched it on Tubi. I have websites I watch all my movies on. So like if I don't own it, I'll find a way to watch it. That's why I was telling somebody who recommended a list to me, sent me over a watch list of 10 movies, and she's like, a lot of these might be difficult to find. I was like, I will find the movie no matter what. You could recommend anything you want. I will find a way to watch it. So I have my ways. I will find it. I really enjoyed this one. I like the characters, to be honest with you. I do want to dive into some spoilers because this movie definitely. Maybe we got to stay away from spoilers on this one.
I would just the
Yeah.
basic premise is the girl takes a job at a gas station. She just got out of prison, and
Yes,
stuff happens.
there is Cody. I looked it up
Yes,
after or during watching it, and I think it came with a slip
it
as
did,
well.
and I have it. I bought it release day. The slip was cool looking, and I'm not a slip guy.
You son of.
It's got like a shimmery look to it.
Here, Bob. I will find a way. Yeah, I have my websites, some illegal websites I use. Yeah, so there is a slipcover for it. I definitely want to pick this one up. I was a big fan of it. We will stay away from spoilers but it gets violent towards the end.
Yeah,
Quite violent. I really do like the story. It's kind of a interesting, put yourself in the character or in the shoes of the character kind of movie. I like the supporting characters as well, to be honest with you. And I like where it went with the ending, and I like how violent it gets. And I was super into it, to be honest with you. And like you said, I was super into the setting of it too. This was another one. I actually thought it was kind of not scary, but there's definitely had its moments. Like I was, I all the lights off late at night watching it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I had a blast with this one, to be honest with you. Doesn't feel boring. Doesn't feel its runtime. Moves along pretty well, and it's gripping. It's engaging. It's quite enjoyable. I would recommend this one for sure. And it's either on Tubi or I think it's on Tubi. Might not be, but it's probably pretty cheap. It's on Prime also. Film Addiction says as well. So open 24 hours. Check that one out for sure. But yeah, this is one. Like you could definitely dive into spoilers. There's a lot to spoil with it, but if we dove into spoilers, it would ruin the movie. A lot like I feel like there's a couple on here: Open 24 Hours, Vast of the Night, and Simple Plan, and Wait Until Dark. There, like you could spoil those movies, and it wouldn't be fun to watch it if you did that. There's just like some movies you just can't spoil, otherwise it's not gonna be fun. And I didn't want to make this spoiler because it's tough to do this without spoiling it, but it would ruin the movies. So don't want to do that. But yeah, big fan of this one. I figured you thought I might like this one, but nicely done on this one. You want to go into number 2?
Yeah.
So there's 2 options left. Let's see if you're right. If you're thinking which one. Now you did when you told me you wanted to redo, like if you were to redo my list, I believe these last 2 were on your, like you would send me these over again.
Open 24 Hours was definitely I would still recommend that to this day. Like that's
the top 3 you would have sent me over again.
Where did I well, actually, what you're going to put as 1 or 2, I actually had lower on the list because I wasn't sure. I thought the one might come out as slow to you, but you obviously liked it.
It's not this one.
Oh my lord! So the one I'm thinking is wow. All right.
So Dead Heat is number 2. Big fan of Dead Heat, by the way.
Super
I watched
fun.
It's a blast. It's a freaking blast. I bought the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome before you had ever put a watch list together for me. I bought the 4K of this. I put on-screen chemistry between Treat Williams and
Joe Piscopo.
Yes. Awesome. The 2 of them were hilarious together. Hilarious.
Yeah.
What I didn't like, I swear I would have given this movie 4 or 4.5 stars. The first 50 minutes or 55 minutes were like a 4 or 4.5 for me. I was having a blast with this movie. They take the 2 of them away from each other like the last half hour of the movie, and it is not nearly as good as the first 50, like the first 3/4 of the movie. Did you feel that way at all?
I see what you're saying, but based off the direction it was going, it was kind of the natural conclusion.
Yeah. No, I get that. I understand that. I just had so much fun with it. And I didn't expect to like this one as much as I did, but I had a blast with it. I thought Dead Heat was so much fun.
Dude, I've been such a fan of that one since back in the VHS days. And there's only occasionally you'll see an announcement for a movie that you're like, oh my God, no one talks about this movie. And now it's getting a freaking release. That's how it was when the 4K got announced. Dude, I made so many posts on that movie because I'm like, you have to, everyone has to watch Dead
And
Heat.
it's
So
awesome
cool.
because it was Vinegar Syndrome. And the thing is, like you said, what's great about boutique labels and physical media nowadays for us collectors is it's we are getting great stuff that we didn't get, that like nobody would know about, right? Like until it gets announced and then everybody talks about it. Like Dead Heat was being raved about and talked about. I remember once it came out from Vinegar Syndrome. So super
Yeah.
exciting stuff.
Yeah. I think I might have did a video on that, how excited I was. I think I did. Like
Yeah.
I was legit, I was hyped when that got announced. That was so cool because the Blu-ray was awful. It was a terrible Blu-ray.
Yeah. I didn't even hear the movie until the 4K got announced. So yeah. But I had a blast with it. I put starts off hilarious and entertaining, and on-screen chemistry was great. And it originally thinking about this movie, it didn't seem like it would be something I would be interested in, but I really enjoyed it. I definitely had a blast, obviously, like watching this one and stuff like that. And some movies, when Tim recommended a movie, Fish's List, Adam's List, so on and so forth, I don't watch the trailer. So all of these movies, like I knew about Rollerball, I had never heard of Simple Plan. I, I knew about Money Pit, but like I didn't watch the trailer to single one of these. The first one we're gonna get into, and I almost just spoiled it. But my number one, I bought during a Target buy two get one free sale because you recommended it. I had never even heard of the movie until you told me
And
about it.
obviously you
And
loved it because it's number one.
I'm gonna have a hot take on it. So about
Ooh.
comparing it to another movie. So but yeah, do you want to dive into number one?
Yeah, man. I legit, I'm shocked, but also it's a freaking excellent movie that almost no one talks about. So I'm kind of happy this is number one.
Yeah, it's Dead Heat with Joe Pisco Swole. Gonna have to check Breakfast at Tiffany's out. Wait, Miz, you have never seen it? No, laugh out loud. Didn't see like my type of movie. Hey, what's up, Bob and Tim? I don't know if Mizzy would like Breakfast at Tiffany's. You'll have to check it out. Tiana says. So the one thing I really like about Tim. So I've had friends who will make me watch lists in the past. I had a buddy, and he would literally add movies that are like political, just because he knows I hate most political movies, and he would add stuff he knows I'm gonna hate, just because he wanted me to see it because he liked it, right? I love Tim for this reason in particular. Like we were in a stream not too long ago, a couple weeks ago or a month ago, and they were talking about a movie, and you were like, "You're not gonna like that movie." And I appreciate, some people hate when somebody else tells them if they'll like a movie or not. I actually like it if Tim or others who know me really well will be like, yeah, you're gonna hate that movie, because now there's a chance you might like it, right? Like Breakfast at Tiffany's or something like that. But for the most part, Tim knows my taste. And if I want to watch something, regardless of his opinion, I'll watch it, right? Like him telling me I'm going to hate something isn't going to dictate my decision if I want to watch a movie or not. But I really appreciate when people do let me know, like, I don't think you're going to like that one, because it might save me the time. And if your friends know your taste, they usually have a good idea if you're going to like something or not. And that's why I just don't think, like, heads up, Mizzy, and you might like it like I did, but Breakfast at Tiffany's, I just don't think you would like. So yeah, big fan of Dead Heat though. But number one, let's go ahead and show it off. We have got The Outfit.
This movie came into theaters. Was this tail end of COVID or around like the height of it? Maybe no one talked about this movie at all. Like nothing. There was no fanfare at all. It just came, went, no fanfare. It's so good.
So The Outfit, I didn't know anything about that movie. Holland Oates says I need to see a handful of these. Not the player. Uh, I didn't know anything about this until you put it on your watch list, and then I realized, oh, it came with a slipcover, and I tried it from Target, buy two get one free, and I still ended up getting a slipcover with it, and then I watched it immediately after that. See, Tiana says I like the outfit, and Cody says I've never seen or heard of the outfit. So here's my hot take with the outfit. I liked it more than, and now I just forgot the name. Knives Out.
Okay, what's the comparison point?
Murder mystery, kind of like the mystery behind it, sort of.
Okay,
It feels
all
like
right.
a Knives Out type of movie. I always was one of Tim's favorites of 2022. The outfit,
Yeah.
Helen says. The outfit is great. Saw it in theaters. Yeah, I didn't even hear of it, but it's got my guy Dylan O'Brien in it, and I'm a huge Dylan O'Brien fan. And I don't know what his name is. You do, obviously. What is
Mark
the main
Rylance.
actor? Dude, he freaking killed it.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's so good in that. He's so good in that. So I wrote sharp dialogue. The dialogue, so it's a single setting location as well. It is so crisp, so extra crispy. It is so sharp, razor sharp. It will cut you. Super engaging. I was not bored at all. Like, it's so good. The characters and the twists and turns this movie takes will throw you for a loop.
Especially those last couple of minutes. But for a quick plot synopsis, since several people said they'd never even heard of it, it's that Mark Rylance plays a cutter, which is basically what would you call it? He creates suits and stuff for people, but he works for the mob, but is entangled in a battle of battle of land between a dispute between two mafia sides, and he's caught in the middle of it. Stuff happens. He's trying to basically talk his way out of either side and stay in the middle and stay out of it. And it takes turns.
He gets forced into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they come into his shop with, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also got, what is her name's daughter? Zoe Douche.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce, but yeah.
Yeah. Deutsch. Well, anyways, Mizzy made fun of me for my pronunciation of her name one day. Leave it to Mizzy to make fun of me for pronunciations. He'll always text me. He'll be like, "You pronounced that actor's name wrong." But yeah, who's her mother again? Leah Thompson. Is that correct?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think it might be Leah Thompson, but she's in it and she's really pretty too. Film Addiction just bought it.
Awesome, man. You're gonna like it. It's good.
I hope it comes with the slipcover for you. Tiana is a mobster. I love mob people. Leah Thompson's daughter. Yep. Yeah. Very pretty. Both of them, like mother, like daughter, both beautiful. Enjoyed the heck out of the outfit, man. I was so captivated by it. I gave it 4 stars. So nothing get like a 5-star from your list, but 4 stars. But here's the thing. One of them I didn't like. 0 of them I hated. So I didn't hate the player. I just definitely did not enjoy the player at all. 2 of them I thought were average just for me. I think Wait Until Dark's a good movie. I have to revisit it. And then everything else, at least above average to way better. So you probably thought I was going to hate your list and tear them apart. And I didn't even tear any of them apart. The player was not for me. Let's just say that. So, and it wasn't even that terrible of a rating, but so let's go ahead and dive into some questions. Would I buy any of these? Yes, all of them, because I'm a completist. No, I would. I have the outfit. I have Dead Heat. I will 100% be buying Open 24 Hours, or I'll buy it off of Tim. Number 4, if the Vast Night ever got a physical, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Breakfast at Tiffany's, I will definitely buy. A Simple Plan, whenever it comes out, I will buy it. Rollerball, I have the 4K. Wait Until Dark, I'll buy the Warner Archive release because I do need to revisit it. Money Pit, Tim's going to give that one to me because you got an extra copy, you said. And the player, I already own. So, yes, I will end up owning all 10 of these by the end of the year.
I'll tell you what, too, if you buy Open 24 Hours and it doesn't come with the slip, when I see you next month, I'll give you the slip.
Sounds good. I will definitely grab it, and that sounds good. I appreciate it. I'll definitely work on that. I could probably get it on eBay pretty cheap, but yeah, Open 24 Hours. Mizzy would really like that as well. To people in the chat, Tiana would like that. think Cody would like open 24 hours. A lot of the people in this chat would like open 24 hours. Johnny would probably like open 24 hours better than Killer Goats. Next question. Would I recommend this list to others? Hell yeah, I would. Probably not the player. You know what? The player everyone seems to love outside of me. I would recommend Wait Until Dark because that's another one I have to revisit that one. Like the player, I don't have an interest in revisiting. I do want to revisit Wait Until Dark. I would recommend this list absolutely 100%. Tim, I think you knocked it out of the park. And my next question, would I let Tim recommend more movies to me? Yes, absolutely. I really liked going through this list. I had a fun time with it, and I would like to see what you could come up with knowing my taste better now. So like what I really like about doing something like this is I feel like it gives Tim an opportunity to get to know me better and even everyone else out there. And so what I hope is that people watching either say, hey, I want Tim to recommend a movie. So now you're going to end up recommending 12 watch lists to people in the chat tonight, Tim. Be ready. But I really like that because I hope people are interested in getting watch lists from either Tim or I or anything like that. And I know I never want to like copy. So Dell does his movie swap. And I know like he's been doing that for a while, and I really like Dell's movie swap, and I know Tim does, and I know a lot of other people are big fans of it as well. And then I know Kel does his recommend 10, which is coming back very soon. So I wasn't here like to copy anyone, right? Like I've been getting watch lists from people for years, and anybody could ask you probably in the chat. They've sent me watch lists probably over a year ago. Sometimes it takes a while to get to them. Tim, you sent me this 6, 7, 8 months ago, maybe?
A while ago, man. That was a long while.
That takes time, mostly because I was procrastinating Breakfast at Tiffany's in particular. But and then I ended up liking that one. And that happens. It's fun. But yeah, it's not about trying to create original content or stepping on anyone's toes. You know, we're all talking movies at the end of the day. I try to do what's best for for myself. I miss talking movies. I want to get back to that even on my channel, doing the more what it means to us. Like we did for It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. I want to do Castaway in the future. I want to do Death Sentence as well, or two that I really want to talk about. And then I want to do another Remembering. I want to talk Ellen Arkin movies. So I really want to talk.
Dark.
Yeah, what's that? Wait Until Dark. I really want to talk Ellen Arkin again. So I adored Ellen Arkin. So, but this was I had a blast. I was really looking forward to this. Tiana, part of the Blu-ray Mafia. This is awesome. This was awesome, Bob and Tim. Seriously, great idea. Thank you. I appreciate it, Cody. We got watching a fucking DVD menu screen is a better watch than Killer Goats, Bob. And Tiana with the super chat. I love your new series. It's pretty fun. Thank you. I love when she says like pretty fun, and it was pretty good. I'm like, okay, so just not that good. Thank you so much, Tiana. I appreciate it.
I like so like Cody bought Outfit. Some of my movies on my list are pretty common ones that people already know, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, even if they didn't see it. But people finally hearing about something like Outfit or Open 24 Hours, and if they watch it and like it, that's cool. That makes me happy. So yeah, I hope people like any of the stuff they didn't hear of.
Absolutely. And I think that's the idea, is to spread, and we don't want to spoil it because all these people that didn't see movies, right? Like, and some of them might have seen them. Some of them haven't seen any of them, right? Maybe you haven't seen any of the 10, and maybe none of the people in here saw Open 24 Hours, The Outfit. Like KB saw it in theaters, The Outfit, but that's the idea here, is and bring light to movies that otherwise people might not know. I love getting watch lists. If Tim gave me movies and I gave them all a half star, to be honest with you, yes, that would have sucked. But I would say, Tim, give it another go. Now you know what I like, right? And don't like, but it didn't happen. And I really enjoyed a lot of these, and I had a blast, and I really do. And I don't know if he's still here right now in the chat, but basically I've gotten a lot of lists. Adam, Tiana sent me a list, Mizzy, a bunch of others as well. And what I've been doing is kind of working my way through them and here and there. What I want to stop doing is I'd rather just work my way through one list at a time so I could focus, make sure I remember my thoughts. So my very next guest I'd like to have on, now it could be a couple months, but I've seen, I think, 3 or 4 of the 10 movies on his list. Fish, the film collector, sent me a list, and I think I've already watched 3 or 4 of them. And so I would like to mow his list down and get him on here to talk some watch lists and movies, because he's always got a good opinion too. So I think it would be fun to get Fish the Film Collector on here if he's up for it as well. John Doe Juggalo says this has been a cool idea. It all boils down to fun.
Yep.
Movie Warehouse says, I'm going to watch 4 of these. I have only watched Money Pit on this list. Oh,
Nice.
awesome. See? Thank you for being here, Movie Warehouse. We got Film Addiction saying, Wait Until Dark is on this list. I'll be buying it soon. Open 24 hours. I'll definitely be seeing. Yeah, definitely. Mizzy says, agreed. Good series. Something different. Appreciate it. What's Johnny watching? Most of the movies I now watch come from the stream or what the chat throws out. It's great getting recommendations from the community. Movie Warehouse says, I bought Rollerball in 24 hours. I love that. And open 24 hours. Yes, Fish. Yay, Fish. Oh, wow. Holy smokes. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, because Fish, I've watched a couple of them. I watched one of them for the Brittany Murphy stream, which I think you were on that. I'm pretty sure. 90% sure.
It'd be fun. I can make you another list, but I would actually love if you made me a list though, and we inverse this in the future.
Flipped it?
Yeah.
I could totally do that with, like, say, Fish afterwards as well.
Yeah.
I could flip it like that. If the chat, let me know what you guys think of that as well. I could totally flip it eventually. I know Ellie, somebody who recommended 10 movies to me recently, she's like, you should also recommend 10, and then they watch them. And I was like, it's a big commitment. I already know, right? Like, I'm cool with doing it, but I was telling her I would never want to force somebody to watch 10 movies I recommend to them, because they might hate them or they might have a difficult time finding them. I have my illegal websites I'll use, right? Like streaming sites, and that aren't legal.
I think you know my taste pretty well, and you did good with, like, he recommended Haunt to me. I enjoyed Haunt quite a bit. So
I did not, by the way, recommend Hellfest or New York Ripper.
Oh God, New York Ripper. I hated that.
It would be an interesting twist. I'll have to do that for sure. I don't want to ever force somebody. See, I don't mind, but I always would feel bad if Tim hated them. Does anyone know when the 4K Black Hawk Down Steelbook's coming out? November 2 weeks into November, maybe. Love it, Smirk. I can't wait for that. By the way, Sony not putting the title on the front of the Steelbook, does that bother you?
No.
Okay. Okay.
As long as it's on the spine. Spine is all that matters.
Okay, Tim. I will be up for that. This is an amazing idea, Tim. Imagine all of us hosting Bob on our individual channels and talking about movies. How any of us hosting each other would be awesome. I am up for it. If you want to do it on your channel, doesn't bother me at all. Flip flop or here, I'm all up for anything like that. But one thing I wanted to say is, Cody out there, Johnny, Mizzy, you've already sent me a list, but any of you guys, Cody, Johnny, if you guys are interested in sending me a list, I would love to get you guys on here eventually. Now, once again, sometimes it takes time. Depends on if I see a movie on there that I'm like, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, that's when it'll take some time. So November 7th for Black Hawk Down.
At least I know you.
Why do I keep showing
on, like, Derek recommended things to me, and I watched it, and it was a movie, but you wouldn't do that to me. So
no, I wouldn't. So movies, 2 people, I genuinely try to like. So Mizzy, for example, like, I've recommended and I've watched a lot of movies with him backstage, and there was one he hated, and I know I've gotten to know Mizzy's taste very well. And he's not the biggest fan of romantic movies for the most part. Rom-coms, different story, right? But for the most part, cheesy romantic movies, not so much Mizzy style, right? Like, he'll rip it. If it's corny and cheesy, the good chance he's going to rip it. And so I recommended one that Tiana loves, About Fate. I had a good time with it. Emma Roberts, not for Mizzy. Let's just put it that way. But the nice thing was I got to know his taste by that. And I was like, okay, this doesn't work for him, right? Tim, Hellfest doesn't work. New York Ripper doesn't work. You get to know somebody by that, and you say, okay, all right, I get a feel for that. But he did like Haunt, just not Hellfest. Okay. And so you got to go off of that. Now, you're going to strike out, right? If you recommend movies to people like Blair, it's going to happen. But as you get to know somebody more and more, I feel like you'll hit a home run with it, or at least least get a single out of it. So, get to second base, as the kids would say, right? Or back in the day, that's what I said. What's Johnny watching? You know, I'm making my list for you, but I've got to trim it down now, though. Yeah, so 10 movies. So if you started with 20, though, it's not bad because maybe I've seen 15 of them. Maybe I've seen 10 of them. But it's fun when you think outside the box, and I've never even heard of it. So out of all these movies, The Outfit, technically Dead Heat until it came out. Open 24 hours, definitely not. The Vast of Night, that's 4. Breakfast at Tiffany's, I had heard of. A Simple Plan, I didn't know what the heck that was. I thought it was the band. I was like, that's a band, Tim. 5, Rollerball, I knew what that was. Wait Until Dark is 6. Money Pit, I knew what that was. And The Player, I didn't know what that was. So 7 out of the 10, I believe, I'd never even heard of. Never even heard of. 6 of the 10 or 7 of the 10. So it's awesome. Yes, Bob, we will do this for sure. Get through some other peeps first, and I want your list as well. So yeah, I could definitely got to do it with Fish soon. And I would say I would let you guys know. Did you like the way of doing 10, 9, and not letting the people know what we thought?
I thought so, and then we're gonna go over our rankings too. So
can I? Okay, give me what you thought my ranking was.
Okay. So I thought you were going to have Breakfast at Tiffany's in 10th. I thought you would have Vast of Night in 9th. I thought you'd have The Player in 8th. I was wrong there. I thought you'd have Outfit 7, Wait Until Dark 6, Simple Plan 5, Open 24 Hours 4.
Slow down. Wait Until Dark 6. Okay.
Simple Plan 5.
Uh-huh.
Open 24 Hours 4. Dead Heat 3.
Okay.
I really thought you'd like Rollerball more. I put that at 2, and I was drastically wrong on Money Pit at 1.
You got Money Pit 1. So, wow, you thought Breakfast at Tiffany's 10, which I knew that. I just figured that. You thought number 9, though. The Outfit?
No, Vast of Night 9.
That's the Night, and then Outfit, though. So 3 of the ones that I really liked, you thought would be at the very bottom, and they were at the very top for me.
Yeah.
The Outfit, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Vast of Night were all top 5.
Yeah.
And like I said, out of all of them, I like 7 out of your 10. 2 of them I thought were okay, and 1 of them I didn't like. So not bad, Tim. Like, that's probably better than you thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty good. But I think it helps because it gives the community an idea of getting to know my taste as well, and yours. I really dig this. The community is about to be popping off with watching new to them movies. That's why I do that for the Hall of Fame stream too, and it's fun when people actually watch them. I know Tony like when people in the Hall of Fame, I do that little segment, recommend movies to random people throughout. Johnny watches his, Tony watches his, and if people actually watch them, I'll keep doing that segment. But you know, I don't. If nobody follows through with it, it's not nearly as fun. You know what I mean? So we love movies. It's fun to do that, and we talk physical media, and even the tournaments are fun. But it's just showing. We never talk about the movie, so this was fun to dive deep into it. So, yeah. Like I said, by the end of it, the only one I won't own is Vast of the Night because it's not on streaming.
I got a bootleg.
All right, my ranking for you. Here we go.
Okay.
My prediction, number 10, Open 24 Hours.
You're correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I knew it. Number 9, Rollerball.
No.
Okay.
I had Rollerball.
Don't tell me yet. Right. So number 9, Rollerball. 8, Money Pit. Number 7, Dead Heat. Number 6, A Simple Plan. Number 5, Vast of the Night. Number 4, The Outfit. 3, The Player. 2, Wait Until Dark, and 1, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
You were close on some. The only one you actually hit was Open 24 Hours.
Breakfast at Tiffany's isn't one.
No.
This is bullshit.
So it is Open 24 Hours, The Outfit, and keep in mind, I recommended them, so I like them all.
This is bull.
But
what the hell, man?
The Outfit, The Player in 8, Rollerball in 7, Vast of Night in 6th, Simple Plan in 5th. So you inverted those.
Uh-huh.
Dead Heat 4, Money Pit 3, Breakfast at Tiffany's 2, Wait Until Dark 1.
Yes, screw you, you liar.
No,
He just doesn't
there's
like
there's no liar. I have always said Wait Until Dark was my favorite Audrey movie. I've always said that. I never said Breakfast was my favorite of hers.
Oh man. I was so close to on the one. I thought for sure, no doubt, that was one. I saw your post today on your Instagram story for Wait Until Dark, and such a good one.
Dude, I've never Wait Until Dark has been my favorite of hers. It will stay my favorite of hers. I have Breakfast at Tiffany statues and stuff because there's nothing for Wait Until Dark. Hence I bought this.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, right. I mean, you had them both in 1 and 2, just inverted.
Yeah. He has said that. I said it's inverted. I always love when people dig on a recommendation when they get the time. Heck yeah, this is so crucial. It creates and builds more culture within the community. I love it. Yeah, thanks, Charles Longo. Appreciate it. And they're just kind of laughing at me being upset about that. I knew your number. Oh boy.
You were so sure on that too.
I was not. Hey, I'm not happy. I inverted a lot of them, I feel like. This was so much fun. Tim, thanks for joining me as well. I figured we'd run around an hour and a half, I guess. That seems about right. Staying away from spoilers is the best way to go about it, as much as possible. Giving spoiler warnings is the way to go about it for sure. It's difficult. It's difficult to talk movies without spoiling them, though. It's really difficult. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I definitely like doing the surprise element to it. What's number 10? What's number 9? Because nobody knows. So yeah, it's fun. Fish, I'm definitely going to get him on next. I don't know when it'll be, but I'm definitely going to work on Fish's finishing his list. He sent one of his movies to me. It's only got a DVD release, and he sent it to me. So I might watch that tonight and work on another one of Fish's list. So yeah, absolutely. KB says hit the like before you leave. Absolutely. Glad to see you back live streaming. KB is good. Before we get out of here, right now over on Steelbook Obsessed, it started about 45 minutes ago. He is live with Mel from My Killer Podcast talking Blood Diner. So if you're not double streaming or whatnot, go check it out.
They are great people, both of them.
Yes, absolutely. And Jake will be on my Hall of Fame stream a week from today. So can't wait for that. It's going to be a good time. And thank you, everyone who tuned in tonight. I really had fun with this. I really did. Like I said, at time you feel burnt out on YouTube. I haven't been putting out a lot of content and just been going through the motions, working like 12 hours a day, like 6 straight weeks. So it's exhausting, and going back to the basics, talking movies. This was so much fun. I love the tournaments, don't get me wrong, but I missed something like this. I really enjoy one-on-ones that aren't just relax, talk movies, and do it with one of my favorite people. I can't say my favorite person because people will get upset. So I can't say that, but they know what I mean by that. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a good time doing these in the future. I'll try and come up with recommendations for you for sure.
Yeah, I definitely want a list.
I think it would be fun. I'll work on that, and I'll probably give you 15, and then you say, yeah, I've seen these, or I haven't seen any of the 15, and I'll have to narrow it down to 10. So, yeah. And it takes time. These lists take time. Mizzy sent me a list how many months ago, Mizzy, and I haven't watched one of them yet. So, and and then Fish, he sent me a list how long ago. Adam sent me a list. I mean, it takes time. Great stream. Love this. Chatting movies. What more do we need? Absolutely. And like I said, physical media is fun, but sometimes I didn't need to pull out the physical media. Neither did you. We just talk. Let's just talk movies, man. So, and rank them, and we respect each other, and I respect the chat, and hopefully they respect us. So, it's good stuff. But thanks everyone in the chat. Appreciate you. We had like 42 people in here at one point. I didn't know what to expect with this. I hope it continues to be successful. Success means different things to many other people. As long as the people enjoy watching, that's all that matters to me. Success it's not 100 numbers. To me, I don't care numbers, right?
And I had fun with it, so.
Yeah, exactly. know, if my guest has fun and the chat has fun, whether there's 5 people here or 500, that's what matters to me. So it's not about the numbers. You know what I mean? It never was, never has been, never will be. I just appreciate you guys who watch, and thank you, Tim, for tuning fun. And I can't wait to do it again. But before we get out of here, let's finish up with the chat. Film Addiction says, great job. Have a good night, everyone. Looking forward to episode 2. Damn, like 5 months ago. All good, no rush. So send Bob a list of 15. Got it. And then if I've seen 5 of them, then it's perfect. Great chatting movies. Yep, absolutely. I enjoyed this so much. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it. Me too, Cody. And we've got Film Addiction saying, if you haven't yet, hit the like button on the way out. Hit the like button. So thank you, everyone. 30 people. Go tune over to Steelbook Obsessed. Catch the last 30 minutes of that or so. And yeah, thank you so much once again. Appreciate it. And everyone, have a good night.
Bye.